We're back recording videos. So I just watched Nope, and I think it brings up an interesting conversation about the purpose of film in our lives and how we use it. So this film is quite a lot of things. For those who haven't seen it, it's kind of a horror film, kind of a sci-fi film, kind of a, not coming of age, but it's about like a sibling relationship. And you might leave the film thinking that it's about animal cruelty or the film business or trauma, grief. I left the film thinking it was a bit of a mess. There wasn't really a concise message to it, but it made me feel a lot of things in the moment, and it definitely made me think about those things that I just mentioned. But I think to some people that kind of scatteredness would turn them off a bit, because it feels a bit like it's refusing to commit anywhere and make a statement. And so it just kind of floats in this weird reality where it doesn't really have a purpose. Because ultimately, when you put all these labels on a film like, it's about trauma, then a lot of people are going to look to it as like, oh, it's going to really solve all my problems and that. Or whether it's about animal cruelty, someone might think, oh, it's going to raise awareness about all the animal cruelty issues. And so in that way, the film, there's kind of an expectation that the film is going to serve that purpose of like affecting the world. And that's kind of the point of my Barbie video that I made. I basically expect the Barbie movie to raise more societal awareness about feminism. And I think even though the points that I made in that video are valid, one thing I wanted to come back to was that a film might fail at getting someone to understand their traumas. A film might fail at raising awareness for animal cruelty, but the only thing a film can be for certain is a film. Films are a fake reality, and expecting them to be more than that is not necessarily dangerous, but just not true to what is actually happening. Because ultimately, because a film is art, it's never going to really be able to be objective. Like, all truth is subjective. Like, you know, you see this with like documentaries, how they spin the narrative somehow, don't include some of the facts. All art is subjective. And if you like something that most people think is bad, then that's fine. If you don't like something that most people think is good, then that's also fine. But what a film can do is show something fictional on screen. And we get enjoyment out of that. Someone like Tarantino, who, say like Inglourious Basterds, is about the Nazis. It's a fun film.
Buongiorno.
It's got all sorts of cinematic techniques. The reason that the film bros like this film is because it's made nicely. It's a well-made film, and we like watching well-made films because that's what a film ultimately is. Like, the Tarantino's films are someone who understands the medium to the highest extent. We're not trying to derive meaning from Tarantino's films. We are living in the experience of Tarantino's films. With most of the films that are out there that try to make some sort of social commentary or connect with the human experience or something like that, it's easy to try and expect more from a film than just it being a film. And it being a film is not neither a good or a bad thing. Man does not become superior if you connect him to a saint, and does not become inferior because you connect him to an ape. A film is a film, nothing more, nothing less. Because if you were trying to derive meaning from Tarantino's films, you'd think murder is like fun. Like, you'd be a literal psychopath. But obviously the reason that violence is in Tarantino's films is because it's entertaining to watch, and like, he doesn't mean anything more with that. So to get back to Nope, I don't think it commits to any of the ideas of trauma, animal cruelty, the film business, to really inspire people to make a difference or to derive like a meaning and a truth on a perspective about that. It kind of just throws those ideas around, and your kind of questioning of those topics is the experience of the film. It's still ultimately a fake reality. And that's not a bad thing, because it allows us to process our emotions, no matter if they're as artificial as the Tarantino stuff or as real world as the, animal cruelty trauma stuff. It's still part of the experience of the film and not part of some big revolutionary thing that's going to actually change the world. That doesn't make film less important. One interesting reading I got from Carsten Runquist about this film is that it's a really good portrayal of grief. Small spoiler alert for Nope. In the first few minutes of the film, something kills Daniel Kaluuya's dad, and the rest of the film is about trying to find the alien, trying to capture it on video, trying to prove its existence, and basically trying to get to the bottom of what killed the dad. And the whole 5 stages of grief and that sort. So really connecting with the idea that we will try to do anything to understand our grief and get justice from it. Let's kill the person that murdered my dad. We'll get satisfaction out of that. But we see that in stories all the time that doesn't fill the void. And so finding rationality in the thing that killed your loved one is ultimately not possible because there is no rationality in it, a fake reality. So then when you combine that with the idea of sci-fi, making the thing that killed the dad an alien, which is literally a fake thing, or if not fake, they haven't appeared to reality yet, so they don't exist to us. Connecting this real-life emotion of grief to something that only exists in fiction, which is the alien, they connect to explore the futility of getting to the bottom of that emotion. So ultimately, the film does portray a fake reality, but also explores real emotions. The fakeness and the realness combine to create that one-of-a-kind experience that you only get with art. A film is a film. That's the video. Film is a film.
Do your films have meaning or being? In other words, do I have to get your film or can I experience your film?
If you experience my film, you are getting it. And that, I feel very strongly about that. And I think that where people encounter frustrations with my narratives in the past, sometimes I think they're slightly missing the point. It's not a puzzle to be unpacked. It's an experience to be had. That is the point of it. That's the feeling of it. Everything else, if people are interested to talk about it or debate it, more, or if ideas resonate, that's a huge bonus. But for me, it's really all about that emotional experience of watching the film with an audience.